Hello everyone, good morning. For teleSUR, I'm Cody Weddle in Caracas, Venezuela. To begin today, thousands of Argentinians took to the streets to protest against the new government's intention to eliminate the current media law. Now, the largest protest was in Buenos Aires' iconic Plaza de Mayo, located in front of the Casa Rosada presidential palace. Other demonstrations were reported in the provinces of Mendoza, Salta, Córdoba, Santa Fe, and Mar del Plata. The popular reaction came after the president created a new communications secretariat to limit and modify the current media regulations. Now, the move has been regarded as a favor to large private media corporations, which are widely affected by property limitations imposed by law. Furthermore, the new Argentinian government confirmed that it will eliminate a mandatory price records and taxes on imports. Now, the former government, led by President Cristina Fernandez, had established a system to oversee prices and profit margins. As Macri explained during a meeting of industrial businessmen, his policy will be to eliminate export taxes to industrial products as well.
Now I would like to announce to you all what I did this morning in the farming sector. Here we need to reward those who are motivated by the challenge of exporting, investing and innovating. This is why, from today, there will no longer be taxes on industrial exports in Argentina, because it is not appropriate.
In Brazil, the Brazilian federal police have raided the home of the Speaker of the lower house of the country, Eduardo Cunha. Now, the raid comes as part of the ongoing investigation by the Attorney General into the Petrobras corruption scandal, in which Cunha was reportedly involved. The Congressional Ethics Committee is set to decide Tuesday if it will also launch an investigation into Cunha, which could strip him of his leadership in the lower house. Hospitals in Guatemala have reopened after weeks of strikes by medical staff. Thousands of people went back to the medical centers. Now, after weeks of striking, doctors and nurses were able to force the government to increase medicine supplies and equipment. However, the doctors' union is warning that the amount of supplies and equipment will only help for some weeks, and that the bigger crisis of an underfunded public health address has not been addressed. And the Colombian government and the FARC guerrillas will announce a final agreement on the victims' reparation point in the peace talks agenda. A delegation of victims' representatives arrived in Havana to join the government and the guerrillas in the announcement of the agreement, which is set to take place in some hours from now. In the United States now, controversial Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump kicked out at least three people who interrupted him during a rally in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the businessman turned into politician spoke about his proposals and referred once again to the Muslim community, claiming radical Muslims are pouring into the country. Now, when several audience members there, as we're seeing, interrupted his speech in rejection, Trump immediately ordered security agents to take out the hecklers. Tuesday marks the third anniversary of the Newtown, Connecticut massacre, the deadliest shooting at a school in U.S. history. Activists call for gun restrictions and for their voices to be heard above those of gun lobbies like the National Rifle Association. Our correspondent in the U.S. now, Bianca Perez, reports.
Hundreds of citizens and gun safety advocates gathered outside the National Rifle Association building in Fairfax, Virginia, to honor the victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. Since that shooting, which left 20 children and 6 staff members dead, there have been 90,000 people killed with guns in the United States.
Today is commemorating the Sandy Hook massacre that happened, and we're also remembering other massacres that happened at Virginia Tech and Columbine and too many places to count now.
Attacks against our schools, our children, innocent people, enjoying themselves, going out for a movie, and no place is safe, even a church.
When will we overturn?
Anger and frustration were seen in the faces of activists who demand that Congress listen to the people and put aside the interests of the gun lobby. Organizations that track money in politics found that the NRA spent over $3 million on lobbying in 2014.
We are showing the NRA that we're not going away. We're keeping after them. We're keeping after their lapdogs in Congress. We will not stand for this. We are the American people, and our voices need to be heard, and we need to stop the carnage.
297 people are shot daily in the United States. 89 of these die, and 208 are wounded. Citizens who continue to demand stricter gun laws feel that the pro-gun propaganda does not help citizens be aware.
Before his shooting, I thought that this was an entirely different problem. I thought it was inner city, it was related to gangs, it was all that kind of thing. The very kind of propaganda that these people in that building are pushing, I bought that. And I thought if we stayed clear of guns, guns would stay clear of us. And that was proven incorrect on a Monday morning.
There have been 353 mass shootings in the United States in 2015, which have killed 462 people in 220 different cities of the country. With this number constantly increasing, citizens continue to ask, how many more need to die? Bianca Perez, teleSUR, Washington, D.C.
Why not support?
The United States Secretary of State John Kerry is in Moscow to discuss the Syrian conflict with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov. Now, both officials are set to focus on the future of Syrian President Bashar al-Assad. The talks are considered a significant step towards finding a political solution to the Syrian conflict. The rebel factions have already agreed to hold talks with the Assad government, a major breakthrough after years of denying any role in the future of the country for the Syrian president. During a press conference, Secretary John Kerry highlighted hopes of working together with Russia in a joint solution.
Differences between us. We have been able to work effectively on specific issues. And Russia made a significant contribution to the dialogue on the Iran nuclear agreement. And now, in both of the Vienna discussions, Russia has been a significant contributor to the progress that we've been able to make.
A truce will begin Tuesday in Yemen as UN-sponsored peace talks are set to begin in Geneva. Now, the conflict has already cost thousands of lives. The talks will gather representatives of the Houthi rebels and representatives of the Saudi-backed ousted government of Abd Mansour Hadi. Concerns have grown as the al-Qaeda branch in the Arab Peninsula has gained territory in the country, and the Islamic State group has confirmed carrying operations inside the country. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which includes Russia, Iran, China, and Central Asian nations, kicked off its summit in the city of Jiangsu, China. The summit will focus on strengthening economic ties and security coordination between the member countries. The iconic city of Rome is in the bid to host the 2024 Olympic Games. Now, the campaign began with the unveiling of the Games logo. The logo features Rome's Colosseum in the colors of the Italian flag. Now, Rome faces competition from other cities like Paris, Los Angeles, and Budapest. Despite the resources being poured into the bid, analysts believe corruption and other problems that haunt the Italian capital could play against its chances of winning. Bullfighters are struggling in Spain as the sport becomes less and less popular there due to claims of animal cruelty. The local government of Madrid, where a significant number of bullfighting schools operate, has cut grants for students aspiring to become professional bullfighters. Now, for some, bullfighting represents an essential part of Spain's cultural heritage and should be preserved, while for others, it's a sport that does not fit animal treatment standards. That's what we're covering this morning. Plenty more on all of those stories at our website, telesurtv.net/English. For teleSUR English, I'm Cody Weddle. Have a great day.